Why Ethiopia and Eritrea cannot escape each other. The hidden truth about their connection. Ethiopia and Eritrea. Two countries that share a long border, a deep history, and many struggles. For many years they have been friends, enemies, and sometimes both at the same time. People usually talk about the wars and conflicts between them, but today, let's look at something different. How much these two nations actually depend on each other. Ethiopia and Eritrea are not as separate as they may seem. They are tied together by land, food, coffee, trade, people, and even security. And no matter how much politics divides them, the truth is simple. They cannot fully escape each other. Let's begin with geography. When Eritrea became independent in 1993, Ethiopia lost its direct access to the sea. Before that, Ethiopia could use ports like Assab and Massawa freely. But after independence, Ethiopia became landlocked. That means it has no coastline. Today, Eritrea sits right on the Red Sea, one of the busiest trade routes in the world. Ethiopia, on the other hand, has over 120 million people, but no port. This situation creates a natural connection. Ethiopia needs ports to bring in imports like fuel, machines and food, and to send out exports like coffee and sesame. Eritrea has the ports, but it doesn't have the huge economy that Ethiopia has. So geography itself forces them into interdependence. Right now, almost all of Ethiopia's trade, about 95%, goes through Djibouti. But relying only on Djibouti is risky. If something happens there, Ethiopia's economy could suffer. That's why Eritrea's ports are very important. If Ethiopia and Eritrea cooperate, Ethiopia could use Assab and Massawa again. This would give Ethiopia cheaper and faster routes. At the same time, Eritrea would earn money from port fees, transport and jobs for local workers. This is a win-win situation, but it only works if there is peace and trust. Now let's talk about food. Ethiopia has very fertile land, especially in the highlands. It grows many crops, but one of the most important is teff. Teff is a tiny grain, but it is the base of injera, the soft flatbread that both Ethiopians and Eritreans eat almost every day. Eritrea does not have enough fertile land to grow teff in large amounts. It depends on Ethiopian farmers, directly or through trade, to have enough supply. Even when the two governments were not friendly, informal trade across the border kept food and livestock moving. This shows that ordinary farmers and traders keep the two countries connected, no matter what politicians say. Coffee is another powerful link. Ethiopia is known as the birthplace of coffee. It is one of the biggest coffee producers in the world, earning billions of dollars every year. Eritrea also has a strong coffee culture. If you visit Asmara, you will see the traditional coffee ceremony almost everywhere. But here is the difference. Eritrea does not produce enough coffee. It relies on Ethiopian coffee, both for daily life and sometimes for re-export. So once again, Ethiopia provides the crop, and Eritrea could provide the gateway to global markets through its ports. Coffee is not just an economic product. It is a cultural bridge that both nations share. Eritrea may not have Ethiopia's green highlands, but it has something Ethiopia values: minerals. Gold, copper, zinc, and especially potash are found in Eritrea. The Kaluli Potash project is one of the largest in the world. Potash is used to make fertilizer, and Ethiopia, with its big farming sector, needs fertilizer. On the other side, Ethiopia has hydropower. With dams like the Gerd, Ethiopia is producing more electricity than it can use. Eritrea does not generate much electricity and could benefit from Ethiopia's surplus. So if they cooperate, Ethiopia can provide energy and food, while Eritrea can provide minerals and ports. Ethiopia and Eritrea are also connected through people and culture. The Tigrinya-speaking communities live on both sides of the border. Families are split but still connected. Both countries share religions, Orthodox Christianity and Islam. They share music, food and traditions. Even during times of war, families and communities find ways to stay in touch. This human connection makes the two countries closer than outsiders may think. But here comes the problem. Interdependence does not always mean peace. Sometimes it makes conflicts worse. The 1998-2000 border war killed tens of thousands of people. After that, the borders were closed for almost 20 years. In 2018, peace was restored, and people hoped for open trade and free movement. But later, during the Tigray War, relations became complicated again. So, what does the future hold? One path is cooperation. Ethiopia gets sea access, Eritrea gets trade and electricity, and both benefit from agriculture, coffee, and minerals. The other path is conflict. Borders close, trade stops, and both economies suffer. The choice is in the hands of leaders, but the reality is clear. Ethiopia and Eritrea cannot fully separate. Geography, food, coffee, energy, and culture tie them together forever. Ethiopia and Eritrea are like two sides of the same coin. One side has land, food, and coffee. The other side has ports, minerals, and access to the sea. Together they can build prosperity. Apart, they both struggle. The question is, will they learn from history and move forward together, or repeat the same cycle of mistrust? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content in Ethiopia and Horn African countries.